In this video, we're going to have a look at the N8N interface when we run it from Docker. Now, to get it started, we've got Docker open here. You need to click on the little start next to your N8N, and then you can click this link to open your N8N in a browser window. Now, it may take a few seconds before it propagates cleanly and you can open it, but when it does, you should see your sign-in form. So go and sign in. And this will open up the overview page of N8N. You can see the overview over here in the left panel. We've also got personal. Now the overview is like the home screen. It tells you what's been going on in your N8N installation. And at the moment, nothing's been going on. So all we see are these offers of using templates. If you scroll to the bottom though, there is this start from scratch. And if you click on that, it will start a new automation. And if you click on that, it will create a new automation in the canvas ready for you to edit. If we click over onto personal, then we've got some tabs at the top. We've also got a button up here to create workflow and create credentials and other things. This screen is where you can organize your automations. Whenever you create an automation, it's going to be listed down here, and you can put them into folders and organize them however you like. On the Credentials tab, this will show you any credentials that you have set up, and credentials are basically API keys and login details for the services that you're going to need, and we'll need to set up some credentials for the Google Docs, Google Sheets and Gmail and Google Drive. And when they're set up, they will be listed in here. The Executions tab is a list of every workflow that has run on N8N. Now we haven't got any yet because we haven't created any automations, we haven't run any automations, but when you do, they'll be added to this list over here. The other thing to be aware of down here is settings. You can get all your settings down here. Personal is where you can change the theme, and you can also enable two-factor authentication if you want to. So let's just get started. We'll click on Create Workflow. And this opens a new blank workflow in the editor. Let me just collapse those logs for a moment to make this bigger. This big area in the center is the canvas, and this is where you're going to build your automations by placing and connecting nodes. You can zoom in using the zoom buttons down here. You can also hold the control key and use your mouse wheel to zoom. And then to move around the canvas, if you hold your control key, you can see we've got the little hand icon. You can then drag it around to move around your automation as it grows. Let's have a look at a very simple automation, and I'm going to start this by clicking on the plus and adding the on form submission. This is a form that somebody can fill out and then submit, and then the information that they filled out on that form will be passed into the automation. Now, whenever you add a new node and it opens up for editing, there are three panels. There's a panel on the left, the middle panel, and the panel on the right. The panel on the left is information that is flowing into this node. Now, if we look at this node, there's nothing flowing in. In fact, this is the start of an automation, so there won't ever be anything flowing in through this node. So the left-hand panel is empty. The right-hand panel is the information that flows out of the node. So this is going to be a contact form, and the information that the person fills in on that contact form is going to be the information that is output from this node. So let's come down here and we'll call it Contact Us, and description we don't need to fill in. And then we want to put in a name and a comment field. So we can add form elements by clicking that button. What is your name? And we'll leave it at text field. Now this is a required field, so if we come down to add attributes, we can say this is required and enable it. The other form element we want is the comment. And instead of text input, I'm going to select text area. And again, this should be a required field. So now we're asking for name and comment. Let's close this down for a moment. And with the node on the screen, we can execute that node with this button, execute workflow, this button, execute workflow. Or if there are multiple nodes in your automation, you can run just the current step by clicking on this little play button. To go in and edit, you just double click on it and we're back inside. Now I want to execute this from within the editor so you can see what happens on this output. Remember, this is the output, this is the information that's going to be passed on to the next node in the automation. So if I click execute step, we get this form appear. So let's put in some information. Comment, why is the website so slow, question mark. Now as I'm typing this in, you'll notice over here on the input it's listening. It says up here stop listening, so it's listening for a response. As soon as I click the submit, it now has heard that response and it's processed the field. The form, I can close that down, and you can see that the output from this node now is what is your name and the comment, why is the website so slow. So that information will be available to the next node along here. Now there is one option up here that is quite useful. If you come up to this little menu and then click pin, what that does is it then remembers the information from the last run. So if I double click to open it, it will remember what is your name, Andy, and the comment, why is your website so slow. To give you an example of where this might be useful, if you're testing and you don't want to have to type in the same stuff on a form when you're testing over and over again, then you can run it once and pin it, and then that information won't be asked for again. Another example might be if you're doing an automation that requires certain information to be put in and you're having to rerun that automation but you need the same information again, you can run it and then pin it. So let's just have a look. I'm going to run the automation again. So let's click on execute workflow, and then in the form here we'll put in another name and I'll paste in a longer comment. Now that will be a pain to have to type in every time if I'm just doing testing. So let's click submit, and then we can close this. If I double click on the node, you can see what is your name, Harry, and then the comment is in here. Now if I go and click on pin, that information will now be remembered. If I run the workflow again, it hasn't even asked me for the form, it's just again supplied the same information. If you want to unpin it, that will then ask you again to start typing in information in the form, but I'm going to just leave it there for a moment. And we're going to add a second node to the automation just to see how that information can be passed on. Now you can add a second node by clicking this plus here, and that will automatically connect it. Or if you come up here and search, I'm going to search for one called no operation. So this is no operation, do nothing. As the name suggests, this node doesn't actually do anything. It will receive information in and it will put out the same data without changing it. These can be used for organizing workflows, separating logic, testing connections, or leaving space for future steps, helping to keep your automations clear and structured. Now, I've got two separate nodes there. In order for the two nodes to work together and information to be passed, I need to drag that, disconnect it, drag that little plus to the input of this particular node. If you want to remove that link, you just click on the trash can. So that is now linked. We've got the information pinned, so the Harry and the comment. Let's run this again. See, workflow executed successfully. Let's come across to the no operation, do nothing. And you can see over here, the input to this node is what is your name, Harry, the comment, and then there is the comment. As I said, this node doesn't do anything, it just outputs in the same information that came in. So there's the output from that as well. So the information from this form came in, it was passed on to this node, and then it would be passed on to the next node if you had one. Let's unpin, and we'll run the automation again. I'm going to put in another name. Let me just say hello world. Click submit, and then let's open up the on-form submission. You can see Paul, hello world. If we come to the next node, Paul, hello world came in from the first node and output from the no operation node, Paul and hello world. The other place you can see this information is down here. If you open up the logs, you can see what's happening. So the form is submitted, and in the what's your name, you can see they entered Paul and then hello world, and here's the time. And then this is the second node, no operation, nothing. And this is the output from that node. So the information is flowing along from one to another. Now, one of the things you can do here is click on the executions, because we've now executed the automation a few times. If I click back onto the first one down here, you can see all we had was the on-form submission, and this was the first submission that was added. If If we move up to the next one, again, we did it again, but we did it with a different name and a longer submission. Let's come up to the next execution. Again, it's only the single node, but we had the pin, so we had the same information. And then this one, we added in the no operation. And what you can do is you can click on this node and it will tell you down here, what's your name, Harry, comment. And then if you click on no operation, it will show you the output from that one. And you can select those nodes over here on the left and it tells you the output from each of those nodes. If you come back to the last one, the on-form submission was Paul and hello world, and then no operation. That gave the same information back again. As an added bonus to this log screen, you'll see that the output is highlighted, but I can also highlight the input. So now I've got the input for this node and the output for this node. On the submission form, there is no input, so we've just got the output. But on the no operation, do nothing, we've got the input from the form and then the output. So you can toggle those on as well. So that's a brief introduction to how these automations work. And in the next video, we're going to have a look at some of the nodes that we're going to need to use to work with Google Workspace. So Google Docs, Google Sheets, Gmail and G Drive.